Hi, I'm Conan Gray, and PopBuzz has asked me to paint a self-portrait. So this is a photo of me looking drop-dead gorgeous in Venice at the YSL fashion show, men's fashion show. This was my first fashion show I ever went to. I was terrified for my life. I was fighting for my life the whole entire time. Everyone was so beautiful. I wanted to evaporate. But it was very magical and very, very fun. I don't know why I was so scared, because everyone was really, really nice to me. So in the end, I was more beautiful than everyone there, so it's fine. I really never noticed that I was making it, to be honest. I just, I was writing and writing and writing. I write usually 1 or 2 songs a day because I'm psychotic. I guess over time, I looked around and I was like, oh, I've written 200 songs. I have to probably put these out eventually. And that's kind of what happened with Superbreak. But I really wanted it to be an album that's kind of about that lingering love and that kind of really annoying mourning period of someone's life where the only way that you can get over someone is by complaining about it and writing a lot of really complainy songs and then crying to your friends and then being it's not that serious. Yeah, that's just kind of the feel of Superbreak to me. I think it was mostly just which songs did I end up liking the most. Over time, which ones did we remember? Which ones did we feel had stick to them? Which songs were we still singing a year later, you know? It took forever. And we were just well, this one sounds good with this one. And I also just called my friends and was I don't know what to do. And then we all just sat down and listened to them and decided in the end what we wanted. It took a while and there was no rhyme or reason at all. I think roses to me are just such a symbol of love. They're such a symbol of what we define as modern romance is when someone gets you roses and you're wow, they're so in love, when in reality it's I don't know, $10 spent at the grocery store. And I've never been in love, and I wanted to take this thing that I think was kind of foreign to me, this idea of romance, and steal it, essentially. The first song that I wrote for Superbreak was a song called Yours, and in the song I say, 15 dozen roses, all the things that I've done for you not to notice. And it just felt like a good symbol of I think of the cover as me laying in this bed of all these roses that I had to offer, and then I just got violently rejected, and then I wrote the album instead. That's kind of how I see the album cover. I think you can wear whatever the F you want to wear. I do think that maybe the trend that needs to die is people feeling they have to wear a certain type of clothing or something to seem cool. Because I remember when I was in high school, I used to try so hard to blend in, and although blending in is super fun and useful sometimes, I'd like to not have to think about it eventually. I think that'd be a good thing to die. I would say look in the women's section or whatever opposite gender, because you never really know what's hiding in there, and oftentimes the fit of certain things really doesn't really matter what the gender is, you know? Go with a friend that you can trust, because they'll tell you whether you look rank or not. And you can never really fully trust yourself, you know? You're biased. Sometimes you want to look good in something that you very much don't. I definitely have a favorite piece of clothing, but it's not something that I've bought. My best friend, Ashley, from my hometown, hand crocheted me a cardigan that I have been wearing the entire tour as a comfort piece of clothing, and I've never loved anything more. You know when you have a piece of clothing that you can only wear inside because you're scared of it getting, I don't know, infiltrated by outdoor air? I rely very emotionally on that cardigan, and my best friend is just the nicest person on earth, and I don't deserve her at all. It was my very first time at the Met Gala this year. It was terrifying. As you can tell, I'm very scared of fashion. fashion stuff, but it was such an honor. I was so scared. I was like calling on my friends. I was like, what's gonna happen inside? Like, please tell me, like tell me what I'm supposed to expect. And everyone's like, oh, well, like, it's a dinner, you know, like it's gonna be fine, like whatever. It's like, yeah, sure, it's a dinner. But like, when does the human sacrifice happen? And they're like, no, like it's dinner, whatever. Like you go and you go through the carpet, whatever. And then I showed up and it was a dinner. It was oddly wholesome. I saw so many like friends that I hadn't seen in years because of the pandemic. And yeah, it was actually quite nice and ended up being a very magical night. And I was very grateful to be invited. Ghosts. At one point, I walked in and Kate Moss was standing at the top of the stairs. And she said, this is so stupid. She said something so nice to me. She was like, oh, like you look wonderful. And for some reason, my brain was just incapable of processing that Kate Moss was saying something nice to me. And looking back, the next morning, I woke up and realized that when she said that extremely nice thing to me that she did not need to say, I said nothing back. I said nothing. A photographer came and started photographing me, and so I just turned it and never said anything. I'm so sorry, Kate Moss. She probably does not give a crap that I exist, but God, I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. You can't just not respond. But she was so nice to me, and I was so surprised to see her that I literally said nothing. Maybe that's a testament to how much of a legend she is. She'll survive. I'm really taking way too long. I'm like really thinking about it way too much. I've like barely done anything. But maybe I'll do like a little speedy. You can kind of tell that it's me, but not really that much. I think that pop music from the 90s and things, it was kind of like the earliest conception of pop. I do feel like these days with music, everyone like focuses a lot on lyrics, and I love lyrics, so I understand that. But back in the day, like they would just say stuff, and like it didn't matter whether it like made any sense or not. And it was just so fun. Like it was a lot more carefree, I guess, is what I liked about it. Music of back in the day. It was just like every day popping bottles, going to the club when we were like 7. I just thought it was a simpler time, I guess, is what makes it really funny. But also then like we entered the time where like Royals was the biggest song in the world, and all of a sudden we were like, oh wait, like pop music can be meaningful. Not that going to the club isn't meaningful. Let's just get that straight. My favorite bangers, oh God. Dancing Queen by ABBA. I feel like no matter who you are, if you hear that song, you stand up and you dance. That's just a law of science. It's actually Newton's first law. A song that I always wish that I'd written is Someone Like You by Adele. Not a banger. It's for a different hour of the day. But maybe I shouldn't be put in charge of this banger playlist. I don't really think I bang that much. I don't think that people would let me make an album full of bangers. People would be like, we don't believe you. So I don't think I would ever make an album full of bangers. But maybe eventually, maybe one day people will say, it's your time to be happy, Conan. It just hasn't come yet.
Fans have speculated that you've written a song with Olivia Rodrigo called Dreamlike. How would you like to respond to these rumors?
Yes, I have. It is the most incredible song you've ever heard. It is called Dreamlike. No. No, I haven't done that. People love to make things up, and then nobody cares on the internet if something is true or not. Nobody cares, which is just, I don't know. But no, that song doesn't exist. I'm sorry to let people down.
We've got it on record.
I think to me, I would just never do a collaboration with someone that I don't know. I feel like so much of the pop space is like, oh, well, let's take this artist and stick him with this artist, and then voila, like, banger. But I don't have that many friends, and no one believes that I have that many friends, so I just feel like I'll only make music with someone if I actually am their buddy, because that's weird, and I don't know. I'm not good at lying to people and convincing them that I like them. I've turned down so many. I'm just so popular. Everyone wants to make a song with me. I have turned down a few, I guess, but collaborations that wouldn't have made sense, and people would have been like, they've never been in a room together. I would love to see, I'd like to see Justin Bieber try to make a song with Lana Del Rey. It's a big one, big smash hit, #1. The vibe would be just like Dream Like by Conan Gray and Olivia Rodrigo. I met Lorde over the summer, and she was very nice to me. We bonded on a chapstick that we used. And I was like, great, okay, goodbye. I try not to talk to them long enough to realize that they're a human being, because it's always upsetting to find out that they, for lack of better words, and shit.
We know Taylor Swift is a fan of yours. Would you be down for appearing on one of the re-released tracks?
I would never be on a Taylor Swift track in my life. I would absolutely do anything. Taylor is a very talented person, and I think anyone would be honored to be part of something that she makes. If I were to have to be on a re-recording, I'd definitely want to be on 1989 or Debut, because you know, I'm from the South. I feel like a little country twang in there might be nice. I don't think there's anything in particular, because I feel like everything that has happened is already more than I ever really expected, or like, I don't know, like I never had any dreams for any of this. And so I just hope that in the end that my music will have made people feel less alone, because I think that's what I started writing music as, was like a way for me to see if I was crazy or not about certain feelings of mine and stuff. Yeah, I just hope that people can listen in like 10 years, 15 years and be like, yeah, like I relate to that, and I needed that at that time. I think that's like my main mission. I don't know really what I've made here. I think I've kind of made something. Let's see, I need more white. Anyone got some white? I'll come back later and finish it. So maybe just leave the offices open and I'll come around. But I think, no. This is my painting. I don't know why I chose this color, all of these colors. I think I found the brown. I was like, brown. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want more videos like this, subscribe to PopBuzz by pressing there.